Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Dialogues Through the Tactics. In this Eternal Evolution video, we're going to be looking at Oak. So this is going to be a deep dive into an actual useful tank for a change. You used to me making tank videos where I say they suck, they're worthless, they're poop, and for the most part, tanks are poop. But this is one tank that you're actually going to use even at endgame. I use him a lot, actually. So as you see, he's right over here to the right of my pretty face. So in this video, we're going to discuss Oak. Now, let me just discuss Oak for a minute. So he's an Atlas tank. He's got a cheat death, like an invulnerability, kind of like Leo, but he's not going to do anywhere near the damage as Leo. He is a little bit harder to get, so I do recommend you put him in your advanced wish list. The game's not either going to give you the possibility of one for free, and the rest you're going to have to earn. So we'll go over where you can get him and how you can get him at the end of this video. But let's dive right into his kit, shall we? And then at the end, we'll discuss his uses, where you can use him, and how you can get him. So let's check out the footage. So here is my Oak. This is the main account, which does have some money put into it. So Oak, as you see, is Immortal 2. You could use him. You can use him at any point in the game, though. So don't let that deter you. First things first, we're going to get right to the gear because that's going to be what the majority of you are looking for. All health sets, which will be evident or made evident why in his kit, but in general. Tanks are going to be based around health and defense. Now, his hands, head are both going to be HP primary hands, primary head. The boots, of course, this is a tank. Oak is a tank. You're going to want damage reduction on his boots. And then for the top three pieces, you're going to be looking for damage reduction, HP secondaries, but as well you can do with a little bit of crit damage reduction because you're going to be using this guy in arena most likely, so crit damage reduction is somewhat helpful. So as you see, I got X HP plus 1 damage reduction, crit damage reduction, X defense. That's an okay piece. I would prefer HP primary, but oh well. This one has damage reduction plus 2, HP primary just 4%, and then it's got an X HP for another 15k of health. Crit damage reduction, no HP on this one because I could probably find one, but I went just with the damage reduction because Oak is not one of my primary characters. On the feats you see on the secondaries there's HP, and then defense. This is really crappy secondaries, but head pieces for me with HP primary are far and few in between. And then this one, crit damage reduction, no I guess you can't get an HP primary, but no damage reduction. But again, HP primary vigorous pieces are rare even at end game. Okay, so that's the gear. Basically, guys, put 3 vigorous sets on them. Look for HP primary hands, HP primary head, damage reduction primary boots, and then look for as much HP percent and damage reduction secondaries that you can get. Defense is okay. Crit damage reduction is okay. Now let's go into, well, actually, you know what? We're going to look at the talents first, right? So I actually use this guy, which is why you'll see these health secondary talents I will have maxed out because it's very important for me to actually, where I use him, to actually have him have high health. That was a weird sentence. And then all of his talents, just get all of the big guys. If you really wanted to, like, no, resist is bad. Maybe there's an argument to be made for defense, but health is really going to be the big one, the big important one, and then all the main stats. All right. Let's look at his exclusive before we dive into his kit. So I do recommend taking this guy up to 10. His exclusive is very, very simple. So he does have a damage immunity on death, which we'll get into in his kit. And activation of his exclusive weapon says once the immunity effect of Fighting Spirit expires, he gains 6% of his max HP. So he's going to die, he's going to get some damage immunity, then he's immediately going to pop up to 6%. Now, at 10, it goes up to 10%. At 20, it goes up to 16%. And then at 30, he'll recover energy, 150 energy. The amount of recovered energy is increased to 150 points, and the remaining cooldown is reduced by 3. I don't recommend the 30. I don't even recommend the 20, although if you are swimming in yellow runes, okay, go 20. But I'd say this guy is good just to take him to 10, because by the time he gets down to 10% health or 16% health after the damage immunity, he's pretty much done his job, and it's okay for him just to go to sleep now. Just go to sleep. So that's his gear and his exclusive and his talents. Okay, now let's dive into Oak's kit. So we're going to start with his ultimate. And his ultimate is, Oak shall use the power of the earth to strengthen himself. So he increases his damage reduction by 15% for 6 seconds. Oak may only attack enemies with Thump while earth power is active, which is weird because then he's also going to get an ability called Heavy Cleave. Inflicts 100% attack of damage, so it's not going to hit. It's going to hit like a wet noodle since Oak's not going to have a whole lot of attack. To enemies in a small area in front of the user. All right, so he's going to increase his damage reduction. He's going to do this freaking cleave that's going to do almost no damage. But his talent effect says Oak has a 60% chance of knocking down enemies while using Heavy Cleave. So they're going to fall to the ground, and they got to get back up. In a way, that's a CC. It's kind of like a stun, because a stun, they're just going to stand there dazed. But this, they're going to knock down and then get back up. So it's kind of like a an AoE CC, because he is going to do, the Heavy Cleave is going to do a big old whack in front of him, and there's a chance of knocking him down, 60% chance. But what I do wonder about this is it says Oak may only attack enemies with Thump while his ultimate is active. And nowhere else in his kit does it say what Thump is. So keep that in mind. Basic skill. Oak shall receive protection, which increasing his max HP by 3% for 6 seconds. When Oak is attacked, that attacker has a 40% chance of being stunned for 1 second. This effect may only stun an enemy once every 6 seconds. When he's affected by his ultimate, Oak will also receive the heavy armor. So his ultimate and this one are linked, although he can do this one without the ultimate. So just keep in mind that this effect is also going to be applied when he does his ultimate, which is awesome because he's going to increase his damage reduction, he's going to increase his max HP, and he's going to make it so that when enemies attack him, they can stun themselves. Very, very nice ability. And the talent modifier reads enemies attacking Oak are stunned for 2 seconds versus 1 second. 2 seconds is pretty big, right? Like, it's just, that's 2 seconds of no damage that gives you a little bit more chance for your healers to keep this guy up. His other basic skill, Oak shall launch a slashing wave at a random ranged enemy, which is kind of nice because he's going to be in the thick of the melee. He's going to inflict damage that is equal to 150% of his attack to any enemies in his way, with a 30% chance of inflicting knockdown. So kind of cool. It's a CC effect, really. The damage isn't important because he's a tank. He's not doing a whole bunch of damage. But if he can throw his whatever through the enemies and knock a couple of them down, that's pretty cool. We'll take that. Talent modifier has a 60% chance of knocking down enemies in his way, right? So from 30% to 60%. So they're going to get a 60% chance of being stunned when they hit him. And then they're going to get, and when that heavy armor is in effect, and then they're going to get a 60% chance of getting knocked back when he does this skill. Plus, remember, his ultimate also has a chance to knock back people, or knock down. And then his passive. Each time the heavy armor expires, remember that heavy armor is his first basic skill and it's going to activate on his ultimate. So each time it expires, Oak shall permanently gain 1% of his max HP. Now, for clarification, if you look, my Oak, his HP is 2.4 million. So that is what, 2,400. That's it. Wait, no, not 2,400. It is 24,000 HP gained, right? So that, and that's the first 1%. And I don't know if it stacks on each other. So like if it's exponentially higher or cumulative, but each time heavy armor expires, he's going to gain, don't care about Instagram right now, he's going to gain an increase to his max HP, even if it's 24,000. That's not a whole lot when someone like Bailey can do 1 million damage. This effect can stack up to 4 times for a maximum of 4% HP, but the modifier makes it go to 5, so he can go up to 5% extra max HP, which is maybe 100 grand. Not a whole bunch, but it is something. When Oak receives lethal damage for the first time, kind of like Leo, he will not die, and he'll instead become immune to damage for 2 seconds. And then remember, his exclusive at 10 is going to give him 10% of his max HP once that damage immunity ends. Okay, so that is Oak in a nutshell. Basically, he is a CC meat shield. So he's going to knock people down. He's going to stun them. Basically, just a true tank, right? Very, very much a true tank. Big old shield, big old sword, cool looking dude. I don't know what he is. Like, he's like some kind of like slug or something. I don't know. He's like a hammerhead slug. But very, very cool. Does he have a tail? No tail. Okay, no tail. So now let's show you where I use him. And keep in mind that I'm using him at endgame. So I do use him in the Elite campaign. You're going to find a lot of these. Let's see if I can find one. That's Energy, Hunter, Assassin. But this one right here, Assassin, Hunter, Energy. Oh, damn it. I know where it was. It's all this one. So, nope. It's this one. Summon, Tank. So basically, sorry guys, a lot of these Elite chapter quests are going to require that you have 2 tanks. Let's just buy one of these. Not that one. So you're going to use him, most likely. If you have Zeta, you're probably going to use Zeta. But like here's an example of where I'll use him. I still cannot pass this one. This is the one that I'm stuck on. You can't have any heroes killed. So it says that one of the qualifications is the number of heroes killed is lower than 1, which is 0. And it's you know, Emma and Azina in the back. Now keep in mind too, this one requires summoners, this one requires assassins. So then my next best characters are hunters. I'll get it eventually, but this is an instance where you'll use Oak. There are a lot of these battle requirements in Elite Chapter where it requires 2 tanks. Boar, very good. Oak, very good. In my opinion, they're the 2 best non-SSS tanks. Oisa has her uses. Like for me, putting her up here, maybe I can reach Emma and Azina with her AoE stun. So I do actually have 3 tanks geared out and talented out. Oisa, Oak, and Boar. Oak, very, very good. Not gonna try that, even though I know I refreshed, but I just wanted to go in there and show you guys. The other place where I actually use them quite profusely is Galactic Arena, and I even use them in Summon Arena. I don't know if I can show you my lineup. No, it's locked, but I was running Oak in Summon Arena. If we go to my defense, we'll show you guys. So I run this team right here. So, and it was surprisingly really effective. So I pair Oak with Boar because Boar is also got some CC. He's a little bit more beefier. Or Boar can take more damage, so he'll hold more aggro, but he'll chuck people to the back, which is good if someone uses like I don't know, a Leo or anybody that's going to get in his face. He's just going to chuck them back and they're going to stun. I do believe Boar also has some stun or some CC in his kit. I like Daniel paired here because Daniel will drop the bear and just mass stun everybody. But then Oak also up front is got so much, like he's got his knockbacks. He's got all his CC in his kit. So those 2 tanks and Daniel can actually hold off of a lot of pressure. And then I got Azina and Emma in the back, just pewing everybody down as they're sitting there CC'd. So this is an instance you guys will, even if you have Leo and you have Crete, you're probably going to put them as leading a team, as I am here. And then it is very nice to have a double tank team. No healer needed. And this team does fairly well. Not the greatest team, obviously, but it does work. So, and then obviously if you're a low level player, you will get given a copy of, or you'll be given the choice in week 1. The Set Sail Bonsomni, I think it's called, or Bosmani, Set Sail Bosmani. In week 1, when you finish the 6th day, you'll get given, if you've completed all of the missions, you get given a key card, which the options are Hercules, Boar, or Oak. It's up to you which one you want to pick, but so this game will give you a Oak right off the bat in week 1. And let's see, I don't know, I'm gonna have to go back a long ways to find characters. Okay, so here we go. So there's a Kalaza, Xandar, there's a Boar, another Kalaza, Paluno, Kalaza, man, they sure feed you the Kalazas. Botmart, Paluno, there's Hercules and another Boar, Xandar, and Rakana, and so they actually do not give you Oak as a reward for story stage. They give you a lot of Boar. So if you were gonna pick a tank off the beginning from that key card, I would actually recommend Boar, just because you're gonna be able to get him up to Immortal quicker, given that the game is gonna feed you free copies. Now, if you do select Oak, really the only place that you can get him otherwise is going to be in, I do believe he is not in basic, he is in advanced. So your advanced chips, as you see, I bought one because I don't have him maxed out yet. You can buy a copy of Oak from the advanced data chip exchange as well. If you really want to use Oak, I recommend, as you see, I do have him in my wish list right now on my advanced tickets, along with Boar, because I'm trying to max them out, Immortal +5. So if you want to use these guys, I would recommend putting them in your wish list and then buying his copies from the store, just given how exclusive he is. I know I was watching a video from a content creator this morning where she said that Oak was actually the last character that they actually unlocked, because this game isn't going to give you them for free. They're going to give you that first one for free if you pick it, which I do recommend, because he is going to be very valuable as well. I totally am glad I went down this rabbit hole. He is also going to be useful in the faction soul mine. As you see, I don't even have artists here. I got Oak right up front. Now this team just doesn't cut it. Atlas Abyss seems to be the hardest. I can't wait for Anpu, because hopefully he'll make this a bit easier. But you will use him here, or you can use him here. You can get away with artists for a while, but eventually he's just going to get overwhelmed, even if you've got a good Mazrani. So he has actually some decent use cases in Endgame, and as well Twilight Lands. There are going to be some bosses that have tank bonds. So if you have Oisa, Boar, and Oak all done up, you can use them to clear those nodes or those paths in Twilight Lands. So yes, very, very, very useful character even at endgame. I highly recommend him and Boar together, and Oisa. Hercules, I don't know. Sometimes I use Hercules and Oisa in the Terran faction Abyss, but I guess those four are okay. If I was going to pick two, it'd be Boar and Oak. Hercules and Oisa have their uses. Kawit and Langale, nope. Shake your head. Don't do it. Don't ask. Nope. The Queet is annoying in story mode, but that's it. He's useless everywhere else. So that is going to wrap up the deep dive actually on Oak. I hope I convinced you guys. I hope I helped you guys. If you've made it to the end, put Icicle, because he looks all frosty. And he's got little icicles hanging out of his shield and stuff. And he just makes me think of icicles. So put Icicle in the comments below. Let me know that you made it to the end of this video. I will thank you profusely. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them as well down in the comments. I respond to every single comment. Till next time, guys, I will catch you in the next Eternal Evolution video. Cheers. Peace. Bye-bye.